Guys, Ash Rage Legends, welcome to the video. Send us some love, some positive vibes your way, especially if you need it out there today. Today we have Faction Wars 2.0, and I want to give my 100% honest opinion on this game mode, this new game mode, kind of overview of the state of Raid Shadow Legends as well, if I can be so bold to do so today. Also, we got the new update today, which always feels a little anticlimactic. You know, you log on, you use your few keys, and if you even have it unlocked, and you're like, okay, that's the huge update. See you in 6 months, right? Am I the only one? I don't know. So I actually feel, honestly, some positive and some negative about this update. And before any of that, though, I'll give you like one super practical tip for all players out there, even if you haven't unlocked Faction Wars 2.0, and that is your area bonuses, right? This has been Plarium confirmed 100%. Your Faction Wars, which is a grade 1, meaning the cheapest possible in terms of upgrade cost, area and area bonuses, is going to apply to Faction Wars Hard Mode. These stats are going to be huge. Faction Wars Hard Mode starts fairly easy for endgame players, but it scales to be very hard, right? I heard on Nub's video that you need about 500 accuracy and or resistance for the final stages, and the enemies run at around 320 speed on the ending stages, stage 21. So it will scale up as time progresses. So if you're one of those endgame players like yours truly that's like, man, this is a breeze, it's not going to always be a breeze. These stats will help out a lot. I personally go speed first, ignore defense, accuracy second, kind of a two-way tie, and then I recommend HP, some survivability, crit damage. Resistance is nice as well. So either way, I actually did this all yesterday from scratch, and it cost me just under 21,000 live arena crests, the gold live arena crests, just so you guys know the overall cost there of that. It will make a big difference for you guys. You know, the other tip is get ready to max out a bunch of crappy champions or have champions in your vault that you're going to be building, which brings me to my very first point before we even talk about Faction Wars itself. Man, I know I'm beating a freaking dead horse here, but Plarium actually went through their big company transfer this weekend, like this weekend my time, meaning Aristocrat is no more. MTG is the new, entity, the new owner of Plarium and Raid Shadow Legends. Instead of a casino company, it's more of a gaming company, more traditional gaming company. They have a bunch of games. I'm hoping that this is going to be a bright sign overall for the future. Who knows? I'm not holding my breath, but I'm hoping for it because it is finally, it happened. But the first pain point is huge. Man, they gave us the free gear removal, which was awesome. I loved it. You guys loved it. I didn't hear one person complaining about the 2-week free gear removal, but they did it before Faction Wars. Come on, man. This is the thing. This is slowly becoming the #1 active pain point in the game. I actually think there's something worse going on in the game right now, which I'll talk about in a second. But this is the #1 pain point, is the silver cost for gear removal. Listen, if you want us to use these champions in so many different ways for so many different features in the game, such as live arenas, such as Siege, such as Faction Wars 2.0, and more diverse cast of characters like Curse City, Doom Tower, Secret Rooms, and now Faction Wars 2.0, golly, we're spending more swapping gear than we are maxing gear. That's insane. That is insane. And they did it. I mean, it would be so nice, even if it was going to be limited time. It'd be so nice to coincide for a new feature that requires using our best gear on our best on the champions that we use every day. Come on, man. Come on. It's awful. That was a huge flop. It's ridiculous. This is archaic to the new owners, the new execs watching. First of all, I'm Ash, a mediocre Raid Shadow Legends content creator that somehow, some way, finds a way to upload videos on this game every day. So I like this game and I hate this game. And I'm telling you right now, the #1 pain point, the most archaic thing in Raid Shadow Legends is gear swapping and gear removal costs. No other game right now, no other game in the genre has that. You still do. It's the #1 pain point in the community. Please start with a dub and do something about it. Please, I compel you, I implore you. People love it. They spend more, they play more when we can actually use the gear that we have, Okay, sorry. Am I ranting? Sorry. All right. So Faction Wars 2.0. So I actually like Faction Wars 2.0. I like it. I think it's a cool game mode, right? With the huge caveat of the what we just talked about, the gear. It's Don't get me started again. But here's the things I like about it, right? Number one is I hope they never sell glyphs. New ownership never sell glyphs, right? Glyphs are something that, yeah, they added rarities to glyphs now. Let me show you, actually. Where is the, oh, you have to go to the stage, right? So I know this is probably an unpopular take, but I like it, right? I mean, they need to add new stuff to the game too. I get it that every time they add new stuff, there's always comments saying, dude, more power creep, great. But like, they still need to add stuff for the players who have been playing for a long time, right? They do need to add new content to the game, and they need to add rewards, making it worth playing the new content. So I get that pragmatically, and I like these, man. I like these glyphs. So the rank 6, they give 7 to 12 stats, or speed, I should say, 5 to 10 on the epics, and then the rank 6 rares are 4 to 9, and 1 to 6 on the commons are 3 to 8, which is the current max for the glyphs, which I think are really cool. This is a rank 6 glyphs, and they have new relic materials as well, associated with the Faction Wars 2.0, which I love all that stuff, right? So generally, I like the rewards. The final reward, the mythical, I mean, she looks absolutely insane, right? Polara Fireheart. So it's going to be a long time till most players get her, but still, I think she's incredible, and she'll be well worth the wait in the same way that kind of Lydia is on normal Faction Wars. And who knows, in 2 years, hopefully she'll be a lot more accessible to a lot more players. But 2 years is a long time to ask, especially in video game times. I digress. So what do I think about the conditions? Right? Like, that is the big question here. The conditions, the difficulty we already touched on, but the conditions. Now, again, this is going to be a very unpopular take, but I actually like the conditions. Yeah. I mean, listen, what are we playing here, right? We're playing a game that's a hero collector. That's like the name of the genre. So getting people to look at champions that they may not have had use for in their vaults, champions they maybe haven't used in years, but can help them clear a stage in a new and, interesting way. Turn deficits, no weak hits, so like giving an opportunity for like affinity breaker type sets and stuff like that. Giving opportunities to use champions or gear that we hadn't, had a big use for. I kind of like that, right? Use at least 3 epic champions, place provoke debuffs. I get all that, but the shame is, in a vacuum, I actually like this. I actually like, I like the conditions personally, right? I know it's not going to be a popular take, but I do. But the problem is everything surrounding it. So overall, the conditions, I know some of them are so restrictive, right, that you do need very specific champions. I don't like that they get so unbelievably granular or specific. I don't love that, right? Because there should be challenging conditions that force you to really engage this game strategically in your roster strategically, but they should not be predicated on you have to have Taurus and Marichka, or there's no way you're going to finish Bannerlords 21, right? So I feel like in some ways, they went maybe a little bit too far. But I think the concept itself, and they did nerf regular Faction Wars like 2 times. I don't necessarily think they're going to do that this time, though. I don't know. Just too many Krakens nowadays, right? But they did nerf it. They did nerf Faction Wars 1.0 a couple times way back in the day when it came out, right? It was way too overtuned, way too hard. So who knows if they'll do that this time. I doubt they will again. But okay, a little bit of pros and cons there. But overall, there is a big problem in Raid. Now, I'm going to be quick here, but this is very important. So please listen to this if you ignored everything else or disagree with everything else in the video, right? Let me throw something on the background too. By the way, you can pause these battles like in the middle of them, and it will tell you if you've achieved, I'm blocking it right now, but it will tell you if you've achieved the, the things. 3 out of 6. Reduce 6 enemies by 50% HP and 1 skill. I haven't taken a turn yet, have I? Oh, I guess I already triggered it. Anyway, here's the thing. Right now, the economy in this game is broken. I made a whole video talking about this already a few days ago, but I've since refined my point here a little bit, right? This game is really kind of broken economically right now. And it really comes down, this is like a big issue they need to tackle, I feel like, personally, right? And obviously, I'm a big spender in this game, so like, it doesn't necessarily apply to me, but it does in a way. I always say this, but there's no winning in Raid Shadow Legends, right? There's no moment that you're ever going to experience where you're like, I beat the game. Yeah, I did it. There's never anything like that. And the dopamine that you get from spending in games like this, it's a real freaking thing, right? But in reality, if you spent $1 million or $1,000 or no dollars, you can still get the same enjoyment level. It's kind of like everything in life. If I just bought this thing, I'll be happier. But, study and study after study and every psychological evaluation shows it's just not true. You might get some, short-term happiness, and I digress. But, and they have a new advanced reward, right? Okay, no, this is a regular one. So I digress. The economic problem in this game right now, though, for me, I actually like the relics a lot. I like what they did with the relics, and I have no major complaints with the relics other than not being able to sort your stupid gemstones. Come on, Plarium. But the Altar of Souls changed everything in Raid Shadow Legends for the negative. It's a stupid system. And like, I used to say the number one problem is in Raid is when they release a new champion, who really cares anymore, right? Who really cares? It's kind of a two-pronged thing. They release a new champion in Raid Shadow Legends, and I get a lot of flack sometimes when I come on and I say, yeah, I don't think this fusion is very good, right? I said that I don't think that players should go for the fusion unless you're just a completionist for this dude, right? I'm going for him because I'm a completionist and I'm a content creator. And I want to make the video on this dude and see if I was right or wrong. But I said that he's a pass for me. Like, normally he'd be a pass for me. And I get a lot of heat. Some people in the comments being like, dude, you're out of touch. He can help a lot of players. Same thing with Udex Artor, right? I love Udex. Screw you, Ash. You suck. But the thing is you would think that, like, what you don't think about is all the extra costs that come into upgrading these champions after you get these champions. When I tried free to play, I tried it for a whole year. But the one thing I learned, the biggest thing I learned, is that the cost to upgrade a champion is totally different world when you're free to play or a low spender, right? I mean, the thing about me is I can get these champions and throw, whatever, $40 or whatever into them and max them out immediately, and it's whatever. But there's a lot that goes into a champion, right? The souls and the soul events, if they even have them, they're incredibly expensive and difficult to complete. What I'm trying to say here, guys, is a free champion isn't a free champion. When you get shards and you pull shards in this game and you get the legendary, come on, give it to me, right on. All right, give me the more appropriate thing. When you get Bulwark, right, that's not even half the battle. You still need to get their Soul Stone, especially if you want to get competitive in this game, right? You need to get there. And now they're making bosses. Obviously, this is not new. They're making bosses based on how much awakening you have on these champions as a prerequisite. Forget the stats and everything else, right? So what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that when you get a free champion in this game, when they give you a free login, a Udex Artor, or when there's a fusion like this, it's just the start of it. You need to put a lot of resources. And when I tried my little free-to-play experiment, I learned one thing. Is like, man, I pulled some really good champions. I pulled a Raglan, I pulled a Blind Seer, and I pulled a Tormund. Now, you can argue each of those might be amazing or not amazing, but I didn't max any of them because I had other champions that I thought would help my account more. And I realized and I learned, wow, that's just the beginning, right? It's just the beginning. Altar of Souls really changed everything, though, right? It changed everything in this game for the worst. I like blessings. I like what blessings do. I don't like Altar of Souls, right? Meaning that, first of all, we have this wish list, right? That there's no mercy or anything on this wish list. And then you can get champions you don't have. You summon, which are so expensive to summon, right? So expensive. And then you summon and you get champions that you don't even have, right? My collection, I'm chock full of champions I don't have. Right? Look at all these mythicals, right? And the thing is like it almost is a slap in the face, I'm like, oh, Theodosia, I got a 6-star awakening, but am I ever going to get her? I'm sure some of you guys are in that same boat. But it's not just that. It's like, what are the odds of actually pulling a Taurus and then getting a Soul Stone for the Taurus? Are you sitting there and are you waiting for the champion that you wanted to max to come in the Altar of Souls? There's only 365 days of the year. There's like 1,000 champions in the game, So like what I'm trying to say here, guys, is that the problem this game is incurring to me all goes back to the Altar of Souls, And what this does is, how am I tying this into Faction War? I thought this was a Faction War 2.0 review, Ash. Well, honestly, It all ties back to this Altar of Souls, these blessings, how hard they are to get, how difficult it is now, how much RNG, how random it is to get a champion to actually compete in some of this end game and new content in the game. It's a bloody flawed system, isn't it? I don't think they'll ever go back and fix it though. But man, the Soul Stones and the Awakening, that's the worst part for me. So yeah, TLDR, Faction Wars 2.0 hard mode, I actually like it. But right now, there's a couple other issues that are plaguing and kind of spreading, metastasizing to everything new that comes into this game, in my opinion. So overall, Faction Wars 2.0, yeah, I mean, it will be enjoyable. It would be nice to get those glyphs. Never sell them, Plarium. But it'll be nice to get this stuff. And I think the rewards are pretty good, personally. I think the restrictions, with some exceptions, are pretty good. But it does leave me feeling, I don't know, mixed feelings between the free gear removal and just the economy and the monetization right now. I just feel like something's got to give, you know? If they did, and look at this, by the way, just as a final note for the three of you still watching right now in my rambling video. I noticed that they increased champion space. Check it out. You want to get 10 more champions, guys? The low cost of 20 million silver or 720 gems. Man, I don't know. That might be in line with what it was. It's been so long that I forgot how much it used to be or whatever, but like that might be in line with how much it should cost. But man, I'm like, what? What? For 10 slots? Anyway, guys, we're going to end it there. What do you think of my assessment? What do you think of Faction Wars? Let me know in the comments below. Much love. And as always, take care, guys.